Right, fourth time lucky. I'm going to talk about the San Francisco acid wave and associated cultures. Good. Understood. This is Jefferson Airplane. In one of my videos on the attempts, I said it was 1979. It's 1969, which is a bit late, really. But they are inspired by that kind of like psychedelia thing. The real ones we want to look at are the Grateful Dead, but I don't really like them, so I don't have their CD. I bought these because they're quite popular and I like them, and that's that. And they're famous because of their sort of psychedelic thing. And in this, White Rabbit is a key song because of its rising sort of vibes, and Dr. Gonzo likes it because it helps you get higher and run to the top of the mountain, as it were. This is a pair of scissors that are green, then they become purple, which is quite good, I suppose. Oh yeah, and this book called On the Road. I haven't read it yet, but it's sort of before the San Francisco acid wave, but the main character, Dean Moriarty, as it says there, is based on Neil Cassidy, who was a Beat Generation kind of guy thing. Well, he's a guy from a Beat Generation, which is like beatniks, hillbillies. Well, not hillbillies, not silly. I've not read it, but somewhere near Starks we saw a great red glow in the sky ahead, so it's obviously going to be good. And then, I suppose the next one to follow after that is this, which is not really based, well, it's not really about it, the San Francisco acid wave. It's based on it. It's by Ken Casey, who was one of the first people to sort of, not indulge, but he was part of clinical trials for LSD, and he worked in a mental hospital as well, and he even had the electrostatic shock therapy so that he could appreciate sort of the mental health system. But the beginning of it talks about the psychedelia, which I've not actually read the introduction. And I have read this book, even though it looks like I haven't, but I did read it from the library, and then I bought this because I wanted the book. I'm not going to read this book properly because I don't want to soil the cover, because it's one of my favourites. And then this comes next, I suppose, which is Tom Wolfe's The Electric Kool-aid Acid Test, and that's about Ken Kesey, the main character in this actually, but it's got Neil Cassidy in it, and Mountain Girl, who's Caroline Adams, some guy called Zonka, some guy called Zerlot, Dismount, which is Sandy, which is my favourite guy, because I thought he was nice and funny, but he doesn't get in it. I don't really like Ken Babs, who was one of Casey's friends actually, but I don't like him now at the moment when I'm near the end, because he pranked Paul Foster and Cassidy, and who would prank Cassidy? Because he drives the bloody bus. That was kind of inappropriate, wasn't it? He drives the bus, and you're either on the bus or off the bus, and it's a great metaphor for it. So why would you prank the guy who drives the bus? And why would you prank poor little Paul Foster, the little stuttering guy, who was one of my other favourite characters, along with Mountain Girl and Sandy. And I liked him because he stuttered, because I'm that shallow, because he was like Billy Bibbit out here, who was really funny and charismatic, even though he dies at the end, which is a spoiler, so I'm sorry about that, but he does. But that's not the point. It's the journey that counts, at the end of the journey, and that we have learned from this. Oh yeah. And then the very end one is this one, which is Hunter S. Thompson. He appears briefly in this, because the Hell's Angels are in this, and he's documenting the Hell's Angels at the time to write a book about them, so they sort of clash. But this is 1971, so it's after the acid wave is broken. And then, where is it? So, this is a quite famous quote. So now, less than 5 years later, you can go up on a steep hill in Las Vegas and look west, and with the right kind of eyes, you can almost see the high water mark, that place where the wave finally broke and rolled back. And that's the San Francisco acid wave. So yeah, basically, it was quite an important part of our, American culture, but it obviously came over here as well, because we have LSD here. This is really cool and hypnotizing, and I really should have thought some more stuff to say about the books, but I don't want to ruin it for you. But this is really good, and it's not like the film.
I mean, the film is good as a film. If you watch it on its own, it stands alone on its own. Same with this. Although the film of this one is far more, like, accurate towards the book. And the characters look like what they're supposed to. Especially John Depp put a lot of effort into acting and speaking like Hunter S. Thompson, which I thought was quite good. And also Hunter S. Thompson has a cameo in it, which is, I don't know, nice. In one of my other videos I said, well, that I've not posted, I said that Hunter S. Thompson committed suicide. And I don't know, my theory is probably because of all the hope that was like crushed after the San Francisco acid wave when they finally realised that they couldn't do all the stuff they could. And so he's been living with that, like living in denial perhaps. I mean, I'm not really one to make like assumptions about somebody who's committed suicide, because it's kind of, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it's just not right, but that's what I think. And then this, I forgot what I was going to say, but this is good. It's not like the movie. Jack Nicholson doesn't look like McMurphy. Even Ken Kesey was a bit annoyed, even though, I mean, if you're an author, it's great to have your book made into a film, whatever, how crap it is. Except if it's Darren Shan. I was very disappointed with that, and I hope Darren Shan is too. Oh wait, wagging finger for that. No, I didn't like it. No, but the movie's good and it stands alone as a good movie, but in conjunction with the book, it's a very poor representation. Chief takes backseat, which is annoying because he narrates it all very well, and this is one of the only books when tension has been built up in that I actually felt the tension. I was like, this is exciting. So it could have been made into a much better movie. But then again, some of the actors were perfect for the parts, like Brad Dourif was very good as Billy Bibbit. He looked the part. And the guys Harding annoyed me, didn't look right, but Seafelt and Fredrickson, they look perfect as what they were, the actors, which is annoying now because if they remake it, those actors are going to be old. I hate time. But there you go. It wasn't really about what it's supposed to be about, but look at this water pistol. And now look at it. Wrong thing. Yay! It's blue. Look, it's white. Okay, that's the end. Thank you for watching. Or not.